What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Sanda, this time with episode 5, I believe. Funnily enough, on Halloween Day, the Christmas show. Although, let's say Christmas show, it's more just a show with Santa in, more than a kind of Christmas show. But yeah, really good episode last week. Well, I don't know really how to explain it. Interrupting the funeral, if you can call it that. Seemed more like a celebration. Sorry, I do just, as I was wrapping up, I do just want to pay a bit more attention to this. Yeah, kind of wrapping that up. Really nice end sequence as well with Sanda, and again, the names are terrible with, but he's now got some kind of like religion that's forming from the kids, which is an interesting direction the show's going in, to be honest with you. So again, looking forward to seeing us continue that today. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. There's a typhoon, number 2. Pretty bloody hot. Cardiopulmonary. Yeah, that's the type of shit I was studying in college, which I don't really remember much about. He took a lot of shots, didn't he? Maybe the condition is every child in the world has got to disown Santa, like disavow his existence. I brought this up before, but a little bit like Freddy Krueger in a way. Yeah, these guys are all part of the St. Nicholas group. They've got the same tattoos. I'll be back. I'll be back, Gaki. I don't know, I still don't really know why they're trying to kill Sanda, to be honest with you. Not really sure why they're doing this. They probably mentioned why, but I just didn't catch it. But yeah, if any of you guys do know, without spoiling, if it hasn't been released yet, please do let me know. I gotta say, like, that section of the song really does remind me a bit of the second opening of Beastars, to be honest with you. It feels quite similar. Totally different artists behind both these songs, but that specific section sounds quite a bit like a specific section towards the end of the second Beastars opening. Which is interesting because this is written by the same author. So maybe there's something like inspiration wise that they both took from the author to include like a segment like that in their song, maybe. Well, they are men's. I was wondering what we were looking at there. Don't want to be mean, but it looked a bit like a slug. Oh, you'd hope not. Well, in the situation at the end of the last episode, you'd very much hope not. I was kind of questioning that at the end of the last episode, wasn't I, about the whole kind of relationship, like feelings stuff, and would it be okay for him to date someone his age because he's now also an old man? It's like, it's weird because it's okay in this form, but it wouldn't be okay in his old man form. Yeah, that's still him, so it should still be okay, but I don't feel like it is. So yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? And like, what happens if he's with a woman and she's like on her period, and then he turns into the Sanda. So this is the girl we saw at the end of the last episode. She said something about the plushies of Sanda not being as good as the real thing, I think. Well, that's nice of you. That's nice. Kazai. Kachan. Oh, these two. Oh, she did also mention that. She said something about her having a fiance. So he's her fiance. Didn't hit the lottery here. She seems awful. Maybe not awful, but she's pretty rude. Maybe that's just because it's kind of that teenage defiance thing. You just defy anything. Maybe that's just because she's a teenager. I'm pretty against arranged marriages and such anyway. Not that's my place to comment on them, but I would never really want to partake in one because of the exact situation like this, where even if they don't dislike you, they might just dislike the idea of an arranged marriage. Therefore, act like this. Yeah. But that's another interesting thing about this show, like the kids being so precious, and then also like being arranged marriage and like trying to be as careful about them as possible. So yeah, that's extra incentive for them to have kids. Would that be a logical thing that the Japanese government would come up with, like in real life? Potentially. Not sure it would work because it's more so a financial issue, right? Even if you do pair people up from a young age, there's no guarantee that they'll have enough money as adults to be able to have a child and so on. I'm an old man now. I can't marry a kid. It was a fucking typhoon. I mean, that'd be dangerous anyway, but you're even more prioritized as, again, like the 50,000 kids in Japan. Like, you're definitely not that out. Again, he's unfortunately now like 80. Which makes it weird. But they shouldn't. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was very much like this. The more you're expected to act good and so on, the more you do want to defy it and act out of turn and, yeah, be a menace. It's like horror movies. I'm a massive fan of horror movies, but I understand the fact that I love them so much because when I was a kid, as with a lot of things, the premise of, sorry to pause here, but the premise of not being allowed to watch something is so enticing. Like I specifically remember with video games, they always had like the 18 label on them and such, and it'd be like the ones I would always remember walking past and really wanted to play are the ones I wouldn't be allowed to, like the 18 plus games, the 15 games, and so on, like Call of Duty and stuff like that. That was always like, I think I was growing up around like 10, 11. Like you walk past them, like, wow, they're the one. You don't want to play the ones that you're allowed to play. You want to play slash watch the stuff that you're not allowed to. So get a point here for sure. But yeah, that's why I love horror movies so much, probably because I grew up kind of just wanting to watch um, old memories. This, but there used to be like a fair and like festival rides and such that would go up a place near where I live, and I'd go there like every year, and they'd always have like graffiti drawings of like horror characters. I never watched the movies, but just seeing like Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger and such on there, like it was quite terrifying as a kid, to be honest with you. I was always quite scared to walk past them, but that made me really want to watch them. So what I'm saying is the extreme that they've put these kids in of being so protected and such, will just, that is also the extreme of they're gonna want to do even more crazy shit. I say this about rich people as well, because rich people have like done everything. They end up doing like some fucked up stuff. like the Epstein stuff, they end up going into that fucked up direction because that's an extra, like, because they can do everything. They want to be able to do something that nobody else can do. To that extreme, it's kind of relatable in a sense, in a fucked up way. Oh, it's not that bad, I guess. A god pa. Did he? What does that look like? What face does that look like? Ah, this is quite the good situation for him as a teenage boy. Is her hair red? Would that count as wearing something like red? Or like if her hair touches him? Like that would be a disaster, right? And as I said a minute ago, especially if the situation was like an awkward situation. It's more orange, I guess. I guess it's not exactly red. I mean, it's a bit red. I don't know. It looks orangey red. I don't know. She's kind of like teasing you. Again, I remember like specifically having similar situations to this where I thought the girl hated me, but we ended up actually getting along really well and liking each other. I always thought she was really mean to me, but yeah, but that's just some ways of like flirting and stuff. Oh, you know. Okay. Yeah. Oh dear. Another teacher we got to worry about. He's getting double paid, probably paid for the assassination and paid for being undercover. It's nice. Really? Oh, he's 90. So you know, like, wait. So we could just openly remove hearts and people can be like immortal in this universe. Interesting. I mean, I guess Santa exists, so what else is possible? So his threat there was, I'm going to take your heart and give you my old heart. So yeah, you'll die within a very short span of time. Maybe this guy had a lot more time left than he would have thought. It's an interesting question, that isn't it? I don't know about you guys, but it does kind of feel that way. Like when you do get older, I'm 27, but there does feel like that there's like a massive gap at a certain point. You're never like in between youth and old, like one extreme to another. Imuchi. He's got some good morals. Mm. Then you've just killed a random kid. Yeah. Why did this happen? I forgot about that. My Sanda. That's an intimidating sight, to be honest. Plenty what? Plenty enough. My boobs are plenty enough, even though they're small. Maybe that's what that means. A pretty good impression there, honestly. Guess she's not quite as intimidated as I would be. Have fun while you can. You tried that anyway and it didn't really work. Not wrong. Absolutely not wrong there. Ah, she was the one that spoke up. Okay. Really? I've kind of forgot about that till now. I mean, her top kind of said it all, funny enough, didn't it? I mean, she is very grey, isn't she? Like her body color, she's like grey. It's very weird, isn't it? Like, she looks absolutely normal to me, apart from the fact that, yeah, she's like a skin color, which might seem racist. I don't really know. Racist against grey people, but she looks grey. That is a bit weird. Maybe he just couldn't get it up, for lack of a better wording. Ah, so he's got to be wanted to grant a wish. Is that what it is? I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe the condition is there's got to be a person under the age of 16 that wants a wish granted from Santa with the context of the red clothing. I was going to say it doesn't make sense without the under 16 stuff. I was going to say somebody wants something slash a wish off Santa, one of their dreams to be fulfilled from him. That's like part of the condition. I was going to say that wouldn't make sense because his wish would be to kill Santa, but he probably, now I'm thinking about it, he's probably got that age requirement of kids, of course, with Santa. Yeah, doesn't give adults presents. He gives kids presents. So yeah, I imagine that's one of the conditions. There's got to be someone in the vicinity that wants something from Santa, and they are a child, probably. No, it was just those two in the room, wasn't it? So I don't know. Maybe it was just erectile dysfunction of the Santa sort. I don't know. When I was younger, I never really had much problem with that. I think it's probably quite unhealthy if you were to. That is her. I was gonna say, is that her again? But like, what's going on here? She's just out and about. Like, what's going on? So we're seeing her in the class, and now we're seeing her at the dry cleaners. She's tiny, isn't she? But where have you been? What's the deal? I mean, what is it? You've been missing. Is that her? I mean, you heard my theory that she was two different people, but perhaps it's someone pretending to be her. Jesus, she knows about that. So this is definitely her, but she's just changed. Like, oh my god, I don't know about you guys, but she does kind of feel older. Do you guys feel that? She kind of feels like a middle-aged woman, like maybe not middle-aged, but like a 30-year-old woman. Is the kind of vibes she's giving me right now. So perhaps she was two people. Again, you heard my theory, the case that maybe she's undercover. She's still at school, but just not being Ono, being another student or teacher or something. Maybe she's playing a different role. Maybe that's more likely now. I don't really know. In a different way to what I said though, because like I just said, it doesn't seem very young here. Like, I don't know about you guys, but she just kind of feels more mature. I don't know. Not really the best wording, but confusing interaction. I mean, it clearly is her because she has those memories. I don't think those memories would have been told to other people. This shot specifically, she looks like a 30-year-old teacher or something. Should be weird. Should be very weird. It's the worst thing you could say to a crazy person. She a diddler? That what's going on here? She a diddler? Like the use of language there. I've never seen a child sleep before. What teenager talks like that? Maybe it's just like the English subtitles, but like, that's weird phrasing, no? Really? What the hell? That's how the hell's that happened? That's not possible, right? I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is. I can't see that being possible. Really? Children just don't sleep. That sounds like a nightmare. Imagine having like, oh, can you imagine a world without sleep? It kind of sounds good in a sense of you get 8 more hours a day, you get more time to be alive, but you're also alive for 8 more hours a day. So work maybe probably expects you to work more. You've got maybe more food you need to buy, more electricity you need to use. Sound it doesn't sound awfully great. Also, like, I mean, again, Santa's real in this universe, so probably best not question too much. But how the hell is that possible? Almost every animal in this world needs some kind of rest or sleep. Almost. I mean, there's plenty that don't, but yeah. Oh shit. Fine. Um, there's a lot of very interesting things going on right now, isn't there? Like logistically wise, we now. I mean, I thought the big thing would just be like Santa, and then everything will be slightly kind of down to earth. But then we've got some guy who had his heart replaced. We've got this now. Where kids don't sleep. Yeah, really strange. And I guess if you can't sleep, you can't dream. And if you can't sleep, you also can't. Santa can't come down your chimney because everyone will be awake. And I keep bringing up Nightmare on Elm Street, but this would be a great thing for people in Nightmare on Elm Street. So they just lie awake. That's just strange, no? And sorry to pause again so quickly, but another thing with this character is she's obviously got really dark eyes. I assume that was because she didn't sleep all that often, but it's funny. The irony is everybody else doesn't sleep and she does. Yet she's the one with sleepy, dreary eyes, and they're not. Like, what's that about? Very strange ongoings like this. Can you imagine this? Like, I mean, yes, you probably can imagine this because I've felt like this, especially if you're like excited for something. If you've got like a trip or some kind of important event the next day, I've definitely had this where you can't sleep, and it's awful. I hate it. I hate just like sitting there, just like, oh, please, Lord, let me sleep. Um, yeah, it's just they got to pretend to sleep. I wouldn't do that. If one, I'd hate to not be able to sleep, but two, it would like I couldn't. I'd rather be doing something than just sitting there waiting because sitting there waiting is awful. I remember I had I think it was either like food poisoning or salmonella not too long ago, and I felt awful and I couldn't sleep at all. And I couldn't really like look at my phone or go on my laptop or anything, so I just sit there just staring at the ceiling. And it was fucking that didn't add much niceness to my experience. That's why she's so tall though. Okay. Yeah, the humans in this world have got some interesting. Is it physiology? They do say smaller people do live a bit longer, right? I mean, we had the same thing at my high school. The boys and girls wore the same thing. Girls could wear like a skirt if they wanted to or whatever, but like the same kind of shirt and jumper for boys and girls. But usually in Japan, they've got a different outfit for each sex, don't they? Not massively surprising, is it? I'm feeling a bit weird about this because I did just say a minute ago I feel like she's an adult woman, but perhaps I'm just totally wrong there. I hope I'm totally wrong there. So that was her dream. That's really interesting to think about. What would a dream feel like if you've never had a dream before? It would probably would feel really intense and real, wouldn't it? If you've never experienced a dream, that's really quite fascinating to think about. I don't know if you guys. I remember as a teenager, you heard about lucid dreaming. I heard about that from someone, and I heard it was like really dangerous or something. I tried it once and it didn't work, but I never tried it again because I was kind of scared to even do it. To be honest with you, because it sounded like it could mentally kind of fuck you up. I think they say something about like that ayahuasca stuff, like having like an ego break or something. I feel like I already went through like an ego break because I did used to do like a lot of drugs and stuff, and then I totally quit, and then my whole personality really was very different. So I think I already had that, to be honest. But I was always scared of something like my mind breaking. But yeah, it probably would feel like that, like a lucid dream, like it was really happening. But yeah, she's aged a lot, like in that one sleep, didn't she? Like holy shit. Perhaps that's why earlier I said she looks older. Um, she does look like almost a full grown up woman here, doesn't she? But that's crazy how just one night's sleep changed her from a girl that looks like 10 years old to someone that looks like 25. One ball sorting out the timer. Only got a minute left. Yeah, I don't agree. Like I went through it quite early. I had a mustache when I entered high school, and people would like laugh at me and such for it. But she's not a middle aged woman. I guess she did sleep, so she has gone through puberty, but she is still a teenage girl. Okay. Oh shit, where'd you go from? But yeah, I hate that. Like I said, when I entered high school, I wasn't like I was much more mature than everyone else. I've said this before, but when I was like 14, 15, I'd be the guy like buying the beers and the alcohol for everyone. I'd go to the shop and be able to buy cigarettes and so on because I looked quite a bit older. And that was initially a negative when I first like entered high school, but that ended up kind of turning into a point of kind of popularity. Maybe popularity is the wrong word for it, but maybe it's just people used me in a sense in that regard. But I'd have that was my worth, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't think there is anything wrong with it. Like I said, I got teased for it and such, but I really wasn't much different from everyone else. Is the thing, just look slightly different. Just yeah. But yeah, I guess I was kind of on the right lines. I was totally wrong. I said that she felt like a mature like adult, and I guess that's like I was kind of on the right lines there, wasn't I? But like not in she didn't age at all really, but because she slept, she did go through puberty. But her actual age is still the same age that she was, as well as Fuyumura, I think her name is. Okay, lots of really interesting things in this episode, wasn't there? Lots of really interesting, like little things. Crazy, crazy end of the episode as well. That cliffhanger, by the way. I wonder why I mean, they seem to just love kids, don't they? It's very weird like that. Why is he so against them maturing? Like this is like when you're in high school and such. Like this is like the most normal thing ever. Like this is the thing that schools. I mean, they obviously prepare you for education, but they're there to prepare you for dealing with turning into an adult, both like study wise as well as body wise and so on. So really quite interesting that this school wants them to almost forever be this kind of um unrefined gem of sorts, I guess. Not really sure how to describe it, but until he did say until they've graduated. But why? What's the difference between them going through puberty a year before they graduate versus a year after? Like, what's the difference there? I don't really get it. And it's like they can sleep, but sleeping ages them incredibly. Like, yeah, lots of really strange stuff. I'm not really sure what to think about today. I mean, as we maybe should expect from one of this author series, lots of very strange things. Yeah, just I guess the allure of the adulthood from her side kind of almost ended up. She almost got sucked into a dream in a sense. She almost got sucked into the Amura's dream in a weird way. But yeah, lots of really interesting. Let me know what you guys' interpretation of a lot of this stuff was. Again, there was a lot going on, wasn't there? I like the general message between it of just like just do what you want when you're young. Like this girl, I really liked her today. I thought I wouldn't initially. She came off quite horribly, trying to get out of the cleaning and such. But had like a cute moment here. But that, yeah, this is how teenagers should be and such. This what we saw with Sanda and his wife to be earlier, as well as these two like experimenting and such, which we've seen before. I am kind of wondering why did she try and kill her? That's one big question for me. Why is she bringing a knife here? Like what? Yeah, what was this about? So let's make time stand still by dying. So she really doesn't want to become an adult. Is that why the principal's here? Has she been like massively brainwashed from the principal? I'm going to take a wild guess. Maybe that is the case. Maybe the principal kind of caught on to her kind of puberty. I'm not sure why she wouldn't have. I'm not sure why he wouldn't have caught on to Fuyamura's and done something similar, but perhaps he caught on to hers and is like got her captured in a sense and is like rewiring her to go back to how she was or something. I mean, clearly people are quite malleable in this series. He was able to take his heart out and still survive. So, but something along that line, like it could be so many things with the amount of possibilities that now came up after this episode. But yeah, that's the one big question I have. Like, why has she got a knife here? Why is she like says, is this like a romantic kind of suicide or something in a sense? Like, I'm not. It's quite confusing. But yeah, just because of the sheer amount of stuff that did come up today. Yeah, a lot to deal with. So again, let me know what you guys interpret some of this stuff in the comment section. As I said up until that point, I mean, it was a really good episode in general, but I really like the stuff with Sanda and his fiance here. I think she was actually really endearing and nice, and acts like she should, taking risks and so on. So really like that. And again, bringing up those kind of moral questions of Sanda and the questions, especially he has about himself. Like, is he? He's got that funny thing of his Sanda situation does actually kind of relate to Fuyamura and Ono actually, where they've kind of matured and gained age just over a dream. It's happened to him like just as quickly. He just turned into Sanda, and he's now got to deal with being an old man as well. It's like, yeah, lots of crazy stuff going on. I think this is one of the crazy. As much as there was like, this is probably one of the least action, maybe the least action heavy episode. It probably has some of the most crazy stuff going on. But yeah, let me know you guys thought in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 6, I believe.